So welcome everyone. Today is Friday, April 22nd. My name is Karen and I am your host today for the Lifeforce Canada Agriculture Think Tank. And this is where we talk about community-supported agriculture. The Canadian Restoration Plan is focused on making sure Canadians are growing their own food. And we're here to share ideas, support you in creating your agriculture projects that can benefit everyone, and to stay updated on food security and water security. So yeah, just to take care of a bit of housekeeping here, Karen Klassen has asked me to step in as the moderator of this think tank so that she, she wears so many hats, and anyway, it'll just free up her time to attend to other things with Lifeforce Canada. So I'm going to do my best, and I would love to, before we get into the topic today, which is about water safety, I'd like to check in with anyone or whoever wants to share, and just let us know what, why you, so many faces that keep coming back every week. Just like to know why you keep coming back, what the value is for you, and how we can make the think tank even better. So if you have ideas that you'd like to post in the chat or to email, that would be great. If you have links or ideas for speakers or videos for future calls, we'd really love everyone to share their ideas. One thing I was thinking about is I'd love to have Jeff from the Ontario Plan Council come on, and he's, for months and months, he's always had some great topics and speakers, and maybe he can share with us what he's doing. So again, any ideas that you have, they could be people from our plan councils, or they could be other projects, or people you've come across on where you like their video channels on YouTube or something. So anybody want to share? Dorothy, do you want to start and chime in, and maybe when just to remind everyone where you live, and just a brief introduction on why you're here to, and what you're getting out of these calls.
Since coming to these calls, through the different presentations, winter sowing, microgreens, all kinds of things. So through the encouragement of a lady from Saskatchewan and Kimberly from Calgary, who did our presentation in February on winter sowing, I've made my first attempt this year. I live in Fort McMurray, by the way, so I'm north. So I've made a foray into winter sowing. I've planted some sprouted in the bag onion and potatoes, and they're doing fabulously. I sent my pictures to Kimberly the other night when I had a chance to talk to her. She was impressed. So those little puppies are out on the deck in the sunshine today in the warmth. I've got a bunch of my bedding plants started in those little, with the grow lights, those little grow facilities. I've got 2 of them, and they're on my deep freeze, so they're not that big, but I'm just I'm planning, and I need to do it over the next couple of weeks because the snow is going fairly quickly here. I need to build some boxes. I'm going to have raised beds this year. I'll probably still do a bit of container gardening like I did last year, but I've got some friends that either don't know where to begin or have no desire to grow their own food. So I think I'm probably going to be having to help feed them a little bit. So already we're seeing reduction in the stores here. So anyway, that's where I am, Karen, and what I'm up to. And just, I keep coming back each week when I can, because Karen's really good about bringing on people to share their specialties, and we're all learning a lot. So
We are, yeah. Thank you very much.
with that, no problem.
Anyone else want to, again, just check in and let us know where you live and what you're learning from these think tanks and why you keep coming back, or why you've joined us for the first or second time, or whatever that might be. Who wants to go next?
I sound okay. Okay, good. Because I always like to make sure. So I live in Montreal. Why I like coming to Life Force, and let's say specifically this think tank, because I think it's going to become a necessity. Personally, I think I should start taking more action on what I'm learning, but at least it's good to spend time with like-minded people, and of course I'm learning lots of new things, and even if I don't implement everything right now, at least I know what's possible, so that maybe in a future time I can talk to other people about it. I am a volunteer with one of they call like food banks or food depots around here, so I always keep in mind the possibilities, because they're pretty comprehensive. They have space, they have a few gardens, so maybe they might be open to trying some of the things that we're learning. Who knows? I haven't approached them about it yet, but yeah, that's why I'm here, basically.
Great, thank you, DK. And yeah, you bring up some important points about again, just sharing the things that you are taking action on, and or not, because that's what we want to know, is how we can motivate people to get into action, right? And take those baby steps, because we can all support each other in taking those baby steps and creating that change, so that we become more self-sufficient. So thank you very much. Anyone else want to share what it is that you're receiving from the thing? Oh yeah, Shelley, I'm sorry.
Hi, I'm always a little nervous when there's a crowd, but I guess it's not such a big crowd. Anyway, I'm Ellie from Burnaby, British Columbia. And actually, much to my surprise, I just started a project with Life Force that I'm hoping to send in any day now. And it has to do with agriculture, and it has to do with, of course, just in case there are food shortages. So I've kind of gone into the indoor growing, and also like vertical growing, as opposed, because it takes up so much less space. Like you can grow maybe 30 vegetables in a 3-foot space, square foot space in your home, specifically tower gardens. And I was thinking maybe that I could get the link and show people, because there's aeroponics where you don't have to use soil. There's aquaponics where you can use fish to feed, the plants. So there's alternative measures, specifically with the aeroponics. The plants actually like being able to breathe. They like being out of the soil, and they grow actually faster, and they're more nutrient dense. So these alternative measures that you can take, you can have your own garden in your home. So some of these cost a little bit to start. You might be spending $1,000, but I think with Life Force, if the project goes through, I was thinking one of the things we could do is try and get things wholesale, and then it would be more affordable for each and everybody.
Mhm.
So that's what I've been working on.
Wonderful. And you said that you have a link. So is there, you wanted to put a link into the.
You know, maybe I can,
You wanted to share
sorry?
your screen? You want to share your screen, or you wanted to put something in the chat?
You know what, I'm just gonna try, I'm not very computer savvy, but I'm gonna go in and get my link, and then maybe I'll post it on, if you show me how to do it, tell me how to do it, I'll post it on chat. Because
Mhm.
it just gives you an idea of what you can do, you know, to be sovereign, to be, you know, to be independent of the stores if
Yeah,
need be.
great.
So,
Thank
okay,
you.
I'll try and do that.
Okay.
Okay, you're welcome.
We got Tiffany and Jacob with your hands up. So Tiffany, do you want to go next?
For me, I'm relatively new as far as joining the think tank and Life Force. I've been following it for a while, but the way I see it is that something doesn't start immediate. You have to sort of take steps, and it'll evolve from there. So that's part of it. I mean, for sure, I do get anxious about, you know, not having this stuff available that, you know, we might need and whatever. But so that's it. And what I found that with Karen, she's brought such incredible information to us. Say a couple of weeks ago, it was on Hemp Homes. Now I knew about other homes, but I didn't know that you could build a structure, a phenomenal structure just with hemp.
Mhm.
And also just how versatile and easy it grows. Like I knew for food that it has the, you know, the complete spectrum for amino acids, but I never knew, you know, about the building. So all of that, because it, for me, it helps to visualize the future,
Mhm.
you know, rather than being, we're so conditioned. This is the way how I see the life around us. The reality is just, you know, we're in a box. And the more I can take myself out of the box, the more I'm going to be able to, in a way, hopefully thrive like all of us, you know. And also, we have to start small, no matter what it is. Like I'm starting to try to grow microgreens indoors with a northeast sun. No, I've done them in soil because soil's much more nutritious for the greens. But I grew them about 20 years ago, but it had more of a southeast, and it was easy. You know, it can be messy but easy. So that's what I'm going. You know, I've got my stuff, so that's what I'm going to attempt, because you know they're very nutritious. You can go very far with microgreens.
Mhm.
And that's it. And it's part of being a community of like-minded people, because nowadays that's a rarity with everything. And so it's for the information, the sharing of the information, the encouraging one another, you know, and participating, no matter how small it is or how large it is, but with a participation for all of us. So that's it.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
So thank you.
Yeah, and I really liked what you said too about how these calls help you envision what else is possible.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, when we just look at the amazing things that people are doing, yeah, that's wonderful. I
Yeah.
like that point too. Thank you. Jacob, you had your hand up.
But the reason I piqued my interest to come in here is because I just love talking to like-minded individuals. And you know, there's a lot to be said for growing things, but not all of us have the same capacities or the same tools or the same monetary money. And I just have come up with some solutions, and there is there's 5 republics have actually been sprouted within Western Canada in the last 3 years. And there's the Prairie Republic, there's the Western Canada Republic, there's the Indigenous Republic of Canada, there's the Republic of Canada, just to name a few. And some of them are actually talking innovatively to have our own currencies. And I was just wondering in this think tank if this is something that is being considered, accepting and adopting the new indigenous currencies which come into existence. A couple example would be the sovereign of the Salmon people. There's the Made Beaver of the Prairie Republic, just to name a few. And I just think that, say for instance, you have a product that you've produced that nobody wants, but one person wants it. So how do you get other people's products? Well, that's the beautiful thing about the creation of currency is we can actually get you the product that you need, because you can sell your product to somebody with the currency, and then you can take that same currency and get what you need. Just like Abraham Lincoln did. He actually went to go borrow money from the bankers across the ocean to fund the war, and they wanted 28% interest. And he simply just said, thanks, but no thanks. And he created.
Yeah, something happened with your audio and video there, Jacob. Yeah, I guess in response to that, what I would suggest is, have you joined the Lifeforce Canada Economics think tank? Because that would be a great place there. Right now, there aren't think tank calls, but there is a Telegram group. And I would really suggest posing your question there, because that would be great to explore in that think tank. And then from there, it could be something that's brought back to this think tank where we are talking about food and water issues, and just kind of connect the two. So sorry you had a problem there with your audio or video, but thank you for sharing. Okay. Yeah, DK, then can you click on share screen and start the...
I have my hand up, Karen.
Oh, okay, Tanis, yes.
I'm sorry that I'm late, but I had to do the Helping Hearts thing. I don't know if you saw that on the Telegram group, but
Oh, no,
I was helping a woman move out of the women's shelter this morning. So like through our Helping Hearts community group. So I'm like, I tried to get here on time, but I said I would be here nonetheless, but I totally missed what you guys even talked about. I'm assuming you were just asking like why everyone's here kind of thing, or what did I miss?
Yeah, what you're gaining from being on the calls, why do you keep coming back every week, and what can we do to make it better? And of course, I want you to share where you live so that those who aren't familiar with you get a little bit of information.
Oh, sure. I live in Whitecourt, which is 180 kilometers northwest of Edmonton, and it's a beautiful sunny day on Earth Day, and it's I don't know, we had snow and now it's sunny, so it's all melting now, so it's good. But what would I say about your question, Karen, is that agriculture is such a broad spectrum of things that's underneath it. I mean, I grew up on a farm. I was a farm kid, but even being a farm adult now, it's like a completely different scenario and learning different things. Our council is still like hard at work, and a lot of the projects that we're basing our stuff on is around agriculture, just for the simple fact that of some shortages and that might be coming, planned shortages, but also it's just important, I think, to grow your own food so you know where it comes from and what not chemicals are put onto it as well. And one thing that we've done probably since the last time that we talked, Karen, is that we're purchasing a Flow Hive 2B, like a beehive, and it's called the Flow Hive 2. So basically all it is like you have a tap that you turn on, and it's kind of like a non-invasive way of getting the honey out, but you would still have to do some work if to get the beeswax, but very, very nice. Anyways,
wonderful. I'm glad
there's just so much information on here, Karen, right? So
yeah, I'm glad you shared that about the honey, because I have researched that a little bit, and I would,
The audio stopped.
Jacob, do you want to just mute yourself? I'm wondering if it would be possible for you to find the videos from the Flow Honey, or suggest something then for a topic in regards to the bees, and we could discuss that on another call, because I think that would be great to.
Oh, and yes, you're right. And if you've gone down the bee, what do you call it, rabbit hole, Karen, you know how many videos are out there, right? So, but I will definitely share the Flow Hive, because I do like the non-invasive approach to the beekeeping. And yeah, so
Yeah,
we are.
I love their whole approach too. So that's awesome that you're going to take that on as a project. And yeah, so when the time is.
We're just going to buy it ourselves. We're not going to wait for funding or anything. We're just buying it. So
Yeah, wonderful. Yeah, I had thought about that as well. So yeah, we'll just set that as, we'll put that on our list, and
Yep.
when the right week, we'll have that as a topic. So thank you. And there's something else I think you were sharing before you were completing.
I don't know. I was just saying that there's just so much information that I get from the agricultural think tanks. And like the hemp blew my mind. Like, we've been following hemp for almost a year now, like all the different videos and all the different things it can do. And it just continues to blow my mind, all the different types of things that you can do with hemp. And I've said it many times that hemp is the most underutilized plant in all of Earth, I believe, because of what the capabilities, like it's almost unlimited of what it can actually do. So yeah, but there's other things too with the agriculture stuff too. But I appreciate being on here because of all the people that also appreciate the same things that I do. So
Right.
I'll end it there. Thanks, Karen.
Yeah, thank you. So with the hemp too, we could approach that from some different angles and whatnot too. I think that would be of interest to people. So if you've come across anything, it might be a video that shows, talks about the whole hemp harvesting, or that goes into detail about the processing, or whatever angle on the hemp. Let's kind of consider that too for a topic at another meeting. So thank you, Tanis. Claudette, you're next.
Hi, Karen and everyone. So I'm Claudette, and I live in Saskatoon in Saskatchewan. And I don't get on these calls on a regular basis, but I do pop in here and there every few weeks or so. And when I do pop in, I just love all the learning and the presentations that have been brought forward. I just learned so much. I love gardening, and food sovereignty has been something that has been, pretty hot topic for a while. But I find with my gardening, the passion for it just increases every year, and I enjoy like all the different tips and tricks and different things that have been presented through this think tank that is going to help me along the way. So, and I think also this it's inspired me because where I currently live, I do have space for a garden, but you just always want to do more and more every year. And so this year I'm interested in looking at community gardens, which is something I had never thought about before. And then that would allow the sharing component. Working on the agriculture think tank, and it's inspired me to go bigger and bigger, and so that was something that I was looking at. And I recently, it was actually on our planned council, but I had watched a video, the Garden of Eden, and that was so good. It talked about mulching and the benefits of mulching. So I just I enjoy talking about agriculture and the different facets, and there's just so much I've learned through these presentations, the different presentations, and love being with like-minded people as well, like most have said too. So that's, with that, I'll yield.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's great. And yeah, certainly the community gardens and other types of shared garden space. It is something that we did talk about a couple months ago. I think maybe back in March, or I don't know, a while back. And maybe we could revisit that with some new ideas too. I think that would be great. And you brought up the mulching. That could be an interesting topic, as well as the composting. So anyway, let's just make a note of those. So thank you. Anyone else want to share? We're just halfway through. We're going to be, we'll end our call in about 30 minutes. So DK, if you are ready, if you want to click on share screen, and Karen suggested that we play about 15 minutes. We'll see how the audio is and whatnot for everyone. We'll play about 15 minutes of that video.
Saying good morning, Molly.
There we go.
Oh, yeah, something's happening.
Well, good morning. So in the summertime, every day in the morning, we like to have a little tea in the morning, get our day going. Some people like coffee, and we like tea. So if you guys are new around here, my wife and I live in this log cabin that we built ourselves, and we've lived here for the last 10 years without any public utilities. We live 100% off rainwater, and we're off grid. We don't have any, wind power, and not even solar power. We are about to hook up some solar power, but we've had it sitting here for months, and we haven't even started using it yet. So still no solar power, no wind turbines, not a single luxury. We basically live off of a little generator that we use every once in a while, and we have found over the last 10 years that we really don't use a lot of electricity. Some of you guys might wonder how we post videos on the internet. We have a smartphone, and we just plug it into our truck most of the time, and that charges it up, and we're able to use the internet and everything off of our Wi-Fi connection, off of our regular cell phone, and then we use that onto our laptop, and then we upload videos for you guys so you can learn how to live a more self-sufficient and more reliant lifestyle. So today I thought a good topic would be water. I just talked to you guys the other day about some things that you guys got to think about if you're thinking about, leaving the city and leaving all that mess and moving out and, listen, you want to move out here and enjoy some peace and quiet, find a place that's conducive for your lifestyle that doesn't have a lot of rules and regulations. But then the next thing you're going to want to think about is water. Okay. Now, when we bought our property, this property had no water. Okay. We have a pond in the back here that we stocked with fish once we got here. That was already in. And we utilized that our first couple of years just to keep our garden alive. But there was no water on the property. So when I moved into this property, we were thinking about the different ways we were going to achieve getting water here. One thing we didn't do, however, is call the local drill company and ask, hey, we're getting ready to buy this property, and we're wondering what's about the average cost, because they won't be able to tell you exactly, because each well is different depending on how deep they have to go into the ground, and every foot that they go deeper into the ground costs you more money. So we didn't do that, but you should. So when we got here, we started making those phone calls, and we found out that the well to drill in our area, it was like 10, 15, could be $20,000. And we were like, whoa, okay, that was kind of a surprise. And then that's, instead of just rolling over and paying the money, we started thinking about alternative ways that we could supply our water needs here on the homestead. So I started doing a lot of investigations, and it was pretty obvious, rainwater. And so I started doing a lot of investigation, a lot of learning. That's a lot of the stuff, guys, is learning, digging into the books, experiences other people had, what's been working, what didn't work. And so I really started digging into the information. Okay. And then I came up with the rainwater collection system. Now we have a whole playlist if you guys want to learn how to do it. It's a 3,000-gallon system. It's gravity fed from our large barn up front in the ground, all the way with pipes, just in case you're not picking it up when I'm putting down, with pipes all the way to the log cabin. And we even plumbed it into our new building that we put on the side of it, the learning center. And pretty soon I'll show you guys how all that's going to connect up so we can get water in our sink in there and for the hot shower that we'll utilize during the winter time.
Commercial. Oh,
Is this the
soon
end
as
of
I
the
can,
road
I'll-
for America's economy? More and more people are waking up to a world of pain.
In today's video, I'm going to take you guys under the house today. I'm going to switch out one of my filters, and I'm also going to take our filtration one step higher. We've been doing pretty good. I mean, we got no problems with our system we have set up now, which I'm going to show you in a second. But what I want to show you guys is an added, I guess you could say, security or precaution, especially if you believe the chemtrails that are going around, just all the metals and heavy metals in the air, these chemtrails, lines everywhere in the sky. And, you know, we've been thinking about it a lot more lately. And so we want to just take that extra step to get the purest water possible. All right. So I'm going to leave this tea on here. Stacy will have to be on the pickup crew while we go underneath the house. I'm going to show you guys the filters. We're going to replace a filter. And then I'm going to show you how we're upping our game on filtration for rainwater. I think you guys will really enjoy it. Well, what we have here is a transform. When I built the cabin, because I wanted to have a crawl space underneath the cabin, because at first that's where we were storing our food that we preserved. We were into canning. And so, you know, I put this little door on here so we can have access underneath the crawl space. There's ground up out here, so it was a lot lower to get in and out than it is now. And all that grading and everything we've been doing to build the learning center, the ground got raised up, which is good. And it just makes it kind of a little different to get in and out. That's another thing. If you guys aren't staying agile and frisky, you're gonna have trouble getting in and out of something like this as you get older. Okay. Make sure you guys are out there. You're not just hanging out on the couch all day. Get out there. You're stretching out. You're using your body. You're moving. That's one of the biggest problems as we age, is that you guys sit on the couch a lot more and you don't get out there and do these physical activities. And your body starts to shrink, your muscles start to get weak, and then you can't bend and you can't do the things that you used to do. So stay active. There's my non-water tip. It's kind of tight down here, but I'm going to show you guys what's going on. This is my inlet pipe. When I put the foundation in for the cabin, I actually plumbed in the pipe so I could run the pipes through it once we got everything finished, so I could bring the water into the house. So make sure you remember, if you're going to come in through your foundation anywhere, just like we did on the building next door, put some PVC pipe in there so you have that sleeve and you can run through there. Okay. So that's my inlet pipe. Comes up to a shut off. Okay, so I can shut it off. That's a quick disconnect. So if I never need to take off all these filters, quick disconnect. If you just put PVC pipe into it and then glue it all up and everything, that'd be a mess. First filter is carbon. It's a carbon filter. Second one is a threaded filter. And the next one is a threaded filter. When it goes out into a T, I have a little valve right there for if I need to get any water down here. We were going to run a shower upstairs. We decided not to do that. So that would have been a continuation up to the shower. And so that's just a spigot spot for right now. Then it goes this way. It's all gravity fed, no pumps, no power, no problem. And it goes right through there and then right up to the sink. Okay. And this right here is just a little piece of insulation, just helps keep the pipe from freezing. We haven't had any problems freezing underneath the house ever since we lived here. So you want to make sure that that water's off, okay? These are what the threaded filters look like, okay? Basically, it is just what it says. It's like thread and it's on a spool. It's all wound up tightly. And they're different microns, okay? So what you have here is a 4.5 by 10 inch, 1 micron. Okay, that's a 1 micron filter. Same thing with this one here. 1 micron, 1 micron filter. Okay. And what I like to do with these filters is I get a bunch of them and I keep them in a, box. Okay. And they come individually wrapped and everything. And I like to keep a lot of them just in case, like what's going on now. I don't want to be ever stuck in a situation where I can't get these filters. Okay. So I keep quite a few of them on hand. And I'll tell you right now, 1 carbon filter, after we put the system in and it ran for a while, because obviously there's junk in your system when you first put it together. But now we're probably getting over about a year worth of water usage before we would have to change a carbon filter. And you change the carbon filter faster than you change the micron threaded filter. This clogs up faster. And the one way you can tell if you need to change your filter is your water slows down. Okay, because it's all gravity fed. So the more sediment and stuff that gets caked on this filter, obviously the less water that can get through it, which means less water at the end of the delivery system. So when you notice that, you know it's time to change your filters. Good. So we got the water off. I keep this little paint tray down here just to keep the water up off the floor. Right? Little pressure relief valve right there. Just kind of make sure there's no pressure in the line. And then it just comes right off here, see? Been a while. See that? And what I like to do is I just stick my arm out the trap door there and relieve this water out of the container. Okay, and then there's the dirty filter. You can't really see it that good, but you can just kind of see it's just kind of cakey. Oh, the lighting's just horrible. Ha! We're in the crawl space. What do you want? You can kind of see one's a lot lighter than the other. See that? So that's just all the sediment on there and all the stuff that has done its job protecting from going through the line. So that's good. But you can definitely see one's darker and one's like a real lighter gray. Sorry for the lighting. This is real-time stuff. All right, so out with the old, in with the new. But really not that hard to do or anything. I mean, almost anybody can do it. The only problem that I found with these type of filters is that just lining them up back on the threads can be a pretty tricky thing. We've had a lot of problems where I threaded them on and they would leak, and this, the whole system just to learn it, is a little bit of a struggle, right? Because you're not used to stuff. You just go to the faucet and turn the thing and it comes out water and it's like, wow, that's great. You never give it much thought. So at first, there's a few hiccups. You're learning stuff. You've never done it before. But now that we've been doing it for a couple of years, that's all it's been is a couple of years, by the way. We've been here 10. This is probably our 4th year with water. So for 6 years, 5, 6 years, we were hauling water in 1-gallon jugs.
DK, do you want to just pause it?
5-gallon buckets.
That was awesome.
Okay.
Thank you so much. So, yeah, if you want to just stop your screen share. And I'm just going to really read a little blurb on the description of this video. Living off-grid means no public utilities. To get what you need, you have to think outside the box. Rainwater harvesting has been around since rain. Today's video, we walk you through a filter change on our rainwater catchment system that we use at our log cabin. Then we take our water filtration to the next level with a filter that gets rid of bacteria, viruses, and heavy metals in water. You'll want to watch the complete video and share it with your friends. So yeah, again, we've got that link in the chat, so that if you want to watch that again or watch the whole video, you can. And I'll see that it's posted in the think tank Telegram chat as well. So any comments or discussion around that? Certainly takes commitment, right, to that whole idea of what's required living off grid and catching rainwater. So that could be a whole discussion too for another time, right? Rain barrels and all kinds of things, all kinds of different setups that people have. Tanis, you've got your hand up, and DK as well. Go ahead, one of you, Tana.
Hey, Karen. Yeah, I mean, we have to haul our water because our well collapsed a few years ago. So we have like the 6,000 gallon, 6,000 liter, I don't know, whatever. It's a huge cistern anyways, that we had to build on the side of our house. But as all you guys know, the town water is just gross. Like, it's so full of chemicals and fluoride and everything else. So I was actually looking into a filtration system, and it kind of looks similar to what he had. But then I started doing more research on chlorine dioxide. So this is a chemical that's been used for decades in the healthcare, in agriculture, in so many different industries, because it is safe to use as a antibacterial cleaner, basically, is what they use it for. And it's also been known over the years as MMS. And basically it's been given a bad name. Like, they haven't banned it because there's so many industries that use it for a cleansing agent, right? That they can't ban it, but they make it sound like it. So it's really bad for us as humans and animals, because they use it for animals as well. But so what I have done is that I actually purchased a water purification, that's a better word, kit out of Penticton, I believe, BC. So it's Canada at least, right? And it's only like I think it was 5 drops for one of those like big gallon jugs, 3-gallon jugs, I think it is, right? The ones that you would put on a water cooler.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But anyways, it's like 5 drops and that's it. And it's actually supposed to be really good for you, as in like to cleanse the inside of you too. So like to get rid of any bacteria or parasites or whatever that's inside your body. I would honestly ask you guys to look it up, or I'll put some links in there too, like in our Telegram chat. It is amazing from what I've heard so far. Thank you. Yes. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not, whatever, but it's, but yeah, it's, and it was $60 for a liter. Okay. And if you're putting 5 drops in for one of those big water, 3-5-gallon tanks or whatever, jugs, that's going to last you a long time. So that's a lot cheaper for me to go and buy, because I was looking at these 5 system units to put onto like my inlet pipe coming in from the cistern.
Mm-hmm.
But it's and it tells you actually on the chart too, is like how many drops. So I mean, like if it was murky, muddy water from like a pond, it tells you how many drops to put in that too. So to me, it's almost like if you are ever in a bind, you need to have this stuff on you. Like if you go for a walk, for instance, and you get lost, you should have some of this stuff so that you can drink the muddy, yucky pond water and not die. But anyways, that was the only thing I really wanted to say about that part of it, because it just spurred that within me about the whole water filtration part. So if you can purify your water with just a few drops of something else, I mean, to me, I mean, that's so much cheaper and better way to go. But that's my opinion. Thank you.
Thank you, Janice. And yeah, we could have a discussion about MMS and other such issues on another call. That would be really great. I like that idea. So thank you for sharing. And what they sent you, was that just like one bottle, or is it where you've got 2 containers and you have to mix solutions? Before
There
you...
is 2 containers. That's I don't have it yet. I just ordered it yesterday.
Gotcha.
But it does come as a kit or a set is what they called it. And I can look at what the other thing is, but yeah, it is 2 1-liter bottles.
Great.
That it comes with as per a set. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of carbon.
If you would share that in the chat if you can, or on the Telegram group, so other people can have that link. Yeah, Ellie, you had a question?
Yep.
Sorry, was that carbon? What is it exactly? Can you say again?
It's chlorine dioxide.
Chlorine?
But what it says, chlorine, but it's not bleach, because what they were saying too is like the parent elements, when they become something else, almost like H2O, like it's not, we're not doing hydrogen and oxygen, you know what I mean? But the parents itself becomes something different. And that's why they were saying it's like, it's not bleach. It's just the 2 parents, because it has the chlorine part of it, but the outcome, like the baby of the 2 parents, is something completely different. So
thank you.
And I'll send you guys the there's actually a movie or a documentary I started watching all about it as well. Very, very interesting. I'll put that in the chat, or in the Telegram. I don't know, I can't really do things well in the chat here because I'm on a phone, but I'll definitely put in Telegram.
Great. Thank you so much, Janice, for sharing. DK and then Yaz.
This is just a sort of a reminder, because I think, Karen, you're going to upload it to YouTube, or maybe the other Karen, but just a reminder to have the link in the description of the YouTube video as well. So the link to the video we watched in the YouTube for this recording,
right,
as well as any links that were shared. And if Hannah shared something in the group, I think it'd be nice to put it in the YouTube video description. That's all.
Great, thank
that
you.
I yield.
And DK, that just brings up a question that I had, and I'll get to you in just a second, Yaz. Just wondering what would be also valuable to people. Again, sometimes, Karen sends out the link in advance to the agriculture think tank as a reminder, and saying this is a topic that's coming up and that sort of thing. So I'm wondering, would that be valuable? Would everyone, just because I'll be hosting the calls in the future, would you like me to send out an email? Would you like to be on a list with a reminder that goes out every week? Here's the link, here's the topic. Would that be helpful? So that's one question to think about. And the other thing I just wanted to remind everyone about was the fact that, let me just share my screen here. If you ever forget about the links and whatnot, then just go to the lifeforcecanada.ca, click on the think tanks at the top in the menu, and waiting to scroll down. And of course, you'll find the links to all of the think tanks there, because we're so many amazing things are happening right now within Lifeforce Canada. Some of the links and whatnot to the think tanks are changing, so you always want to go here, and some of those will be updated. So we'll try to keep those, get some of those that have changed updated for next week. So just go to that page. So that was my reminder about that. Anyone want to comment about the emails And other questions, would it be helpful if you knew like a month in advance? Here's our schedule for May. We're going to have these topics on these dates. Yeah, tell me what you'd like. Could any of those things be helpful? And I'll let Yaz speak, and then if anyone wants to answer my question, then we can. We've just got a few minutes left here, so go ahead, Yaz.
Oh, hi, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I actually, in the beginning of this year, I was going through a research phase on, how to preserve water for long term. So I did some research into this. And first of all, I think the bleach preservation method is quite common. But like kind of said, the MMS or the chlorine dioxide is more potent. And when you buy it, I think you can find them on Amazon.ca, and there's probably a few local companies in Canada, and I bought one from BC, Victoria, BC. And usually it comes in 2 containers, and one would be the active ingredient, which is the sodium chloride solution. And usually comes in, like 22% or 25% strength, because, some people use it for other purposes, right? Which they cannot claim on the website. So they can only sell them as water purification. And the other bottle would be like an activator, which would be citric acid or hydrochloric acid. So either way. And you can also buy them pre-mixed, but then the shelf life is a lot shorter. I mean, if you have the ingredients separate, you can keep them for a few years, no problem. And according to the place I bought it from, you only need a few drops for like a bunch of water, like literally drops for many, many liters or gallons. So yeah, and I actually have, I think 15 gallons stored in the house, and I actually labeled them. Okay, this 5 gallon, I added 3 drops. This one I added 6 drops. This one I added 9 drops. So I'll see maybe in 5 years and see what would be the difference. But also I had used distilled water as the base, so that in itself is already removed. I mean, a lot of the impurities have been removed from it. Because that videos DK presented, the person is relying on, like factory-made filters, right? And like he said, he had to purchase like a bunch of them just to store them, just in case he can't get them anymore in the future. So that in a way is not quite sustainable, because then you have, because the filters might have a shelf life limit. And what if you use up all of your filters and there's no more to be found, right? Then your system is not exactly workable. So something like this purification as a backup or as your main method would be quite useful. So it's a good idea to have multiple means to purify your water, including distillation, which is very good, except it uses a lot of energy. So if you're off grid, that might be an issue. But distillation will probably trump all filtration techniques, but you just need a lot of energy. That's it. So that's my comment during my research for the last couple of months when I was preparing water reservation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yes, that's great. Thank you for sharing. And yeah, all really good points. So we're going to close the meeting in just a couple of minutes. So I want to thank everyone for all the links that were posted in the chat, and we'll see that those get either you can post them in the Telegram group, or I'll see that they get there. And again, reminder that you can save the chat before we end the call. So any last comments or questions or anything before we close? And Ellie had saved or had put her Tower Gardens link into the chat too. So maybe we could have a extended discussion about the indoor gardening another time, and the tower gardens too. So thank you.
I was just wondering if anybody knows anything about millet growing.
Nope.
Yeah, would we like to have that as a topic? Maybe ancient grains and whatnot. That could be interesting.
There's a fellow in India, he's called the Millet Man or something like that. And he said that if everybody ate millet, there would be less sickness. That people would be healthier.
I wonder how close that is to the kamut. Kamut. I don't know how to say it. Kamut. Because Karen talked about that before, the other Karen Klassen, and that she got some and she makes this wonderful flatbread with it. And I just got some flour in actually, so I'm going to try it myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And thank you for bringing that up, because yeah, let's have a discussion about the different grains, millet, kamut, einkorn. There's so many of them, right, that are different than the hybridized wheat and whatnot. So yeah, we'll talk about that on another call. So thank you everyone for being here. I so appreciate every one of you, and we'll see you again next Friday at the same time.
Great.
Sounds good.
So
Thanks,
much.
Karen.
Bye.
Thanks so much, Karen.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Bye,
Bye.
everybody.
Bye everyone. Happy Earth Day.
Happy Earth Day.
Happy Earth Day.